Going on, guys? Doing a little Q&A, little garage talk. I don't know who's coming on. We'll give it some time for people to join. So my name's Steven. I own Pure Landscaping. That's the name of my business. It's also my last name, as a lot of you guys may know. This is my first live video. Let me try to flip the screen around. All right, so real quickly, the tool boss got me addicted to some tools. Let me open the chat in case you guys want to chat. What's going on, guys? It's my first live video. So we've been doing a lot of plowing this year. I haven't, been able to really take any videos for YouTube, but that's all right. We'll get some videos soon. I know we have a warming trend, so there's not going to be too much snow in the forecast. I'm just doing a little garage Q&A. I'm just in my garage. You see I got some cheap tools. Some aren't too bad. Got a nice little heater here. Guys, if you could type live. Here we go. Yeah, Tool Boss. Yeah, Tool Boss is the man. I got a little propane heater set up for the garage. It's a mess. Just working on the Toro power curve. It's got the paddles. This thing's awesome for snow when you're doing, little walkways and it's not too deep. It gets right down. EDK. How's the X-Blade? It's pretty good. It's given me a couple issues just because of wear and tear. I did break a hydraulic hose, in the middle of a storm. Luckily, Napa is a company near us in Connecticut that makes the fitting. So I was lucky enough to be set back a couple hours and they made me some fitting. So we were back on the road. We've been getting a lot of snow recently, a lot of 1 to 3 inch storms. That's where this power curve comes in handy. But to be honest with you, we don't offer too much sidewalk clearing. As you guys plow and get used to plowing, sometimes it's easier to be picky when you get your new clients, and you can kind of say, oh, I don't offer shoveling, I just do plowing, and that gets you on to the next one a lot quicker. That's what I've been doing. Fisher, is that what New Englanders like? Or England? Yeah. Fisher's okay. I wouldn't buy another one. I did get the used Fisher X-Blade, so that's the stainless. And I don't know, there's a thing with stainless. I noticed that the stainless blade itself doesn't rust and it lasts forever, but the frame is actually starting to rust. So if I were to buy another plow, I don't think I'd spend the money and get the stainless, because it just seems like it's kind of a waste if the frame rots away but yet the blade is still good. I don't know. So I don't know. I was thinking maybe Western, maybe a V plow. The truck's doing pretty good. It's outside right now. It doesn't fit in the garage. I did have a couple issues with gelling. We had some negative temperatures, and I guess I got some bad diesel. I had water in it. So what happened was the diesel froze up and gelled. So 2 days I was supposed to go out plowing, and I had a little bit of a setback. I tried Howe's treatment in there. So we ran the Howe's treatment to stop the gelling. Still gelled up. I think it was bad fuel. I changed the fuel filters, but luckily it warmed up. It's not -6 anymore. Any other questions? I'll just show you. For my tools, I used to run Ryobi, and they're good for homeowners. They're cheap, but they just wouldn't last. So I picked up a couple kits. Am I going to get a big spreader? Next year I definitely am. I'm going to probably go with a Salt Dog. They're about 4,000 for the model I'm looking at. Probably like a 1.5. See, I have the 6-foot bed for my truck, so I'm held back in terms of not being able to get a large spreader. So that is in the future. Right now I'm using one of those little Salt Dog walk behind spreaders, which is kind of annoying, but it gets the job done. So I got into a little addiction here. We have my Milwaukee tools. You have this one, Tool Boss. Set me up with this one. There you go. It's the 2704 hammer drill. That's nice. I also install security cameras and do things like that on the side as well. Got the impact. These are both the M18 fuel. Then we have an M12. It's smaller. It's lighter. It's also a hammer drill. This one is the 2404. Got this little impact. This one is the 2453. And then I got the mid torque. This one's nice, guys. This one is the mid torque right there. Are you gonna get a mowing trailer? You know what? I'm actually thinking about that, just trying to arrange it. I am looking into getting an enclosed trailer. I want a 20-foot enclosed. I will settle for an 18, but I'm looking for a 20. Some of the jobs I do now, the neighborhoods aren't that nice. So what I have to do is I have to keep watching the trailer. If I have an enclosed trailer, everything will stay out of the rain, stay out of the snow. It'll be more secure, more locked up. So I am going to do that. You just bring up a good issue. With my business, and maybe with yours too, I was buying everything with cash. And I didn't want to get into debt. I ignored my credit. My credit is not too good right now, so financing a bunch of trailers and vehicles isn't an option. So right now my main concern is trying to save money this season. I'm trying to work on my credit, pay any debts off that I had even before I owned a business, that I was just a young, stupid kid. I'm trying to pay off the credit, and that way I can get, 0% financing on trailers and whatever else I need, and do it that way. And I also know a lot of you guys hear people saying all the time, oh, don't deposit checks or credit cards because the government's going to know about your money. Well, we do everything the right way. We actually deposit everything that comes through the business. And that's actually been a blessing because I have proof of how much income I have. So now if you want to get something financed, you have the proof right there on your tax returns, bank statements, etc. So yeah, to answer your question, I am going to get an enclosed trailer. I'm just not sure when. Because of the work I do with like camera installations and side work like that, I wanted to also get enclosed so that I can have the option to run the electrical outlets and nice lights and everything like that. This gun right here, the mid torque, I think it's got about 600 pounds of breakaway power, 400 pounds of torque for tightening. Yeah, 400 tightening, and breakaway is about 600 foot-pounds. This thing gets the job done for most of the things that I need, and I love it. It actually took off the lug nuts on my Super Duty, the Ford F-250, with no issue at all. Put them on. It's a lifesaver. It's a lot better than grabbing all these hoses I have here. My garage is a mess. I had another vehicle in here, and I had to move it out. And then I'm in the middle of cleaning it. But I had all these hoses. They always get tied up, and then I have this crappy little compressor here. You gotta wait for it to build up. With this, you go right, slap a battery in it, and you're ready to go. So what are you guys doing right now? You guys got snow? I know we had one larger storm where the snow was drifting. We had up to 3-foot snow drifts. I've been doing a lot more commercial this year. We were doing all residential. We switched to mostly commercial. The light bar is great. It's the Abrams 48-inch light bar. I like the light bar. It's not that expensive when you're comparing it to other models, like Whalen and things like that. They can get very pricey. The Abrams is about $500. I have no issues with it at all. Still working fine. The only issue I had was a button on the controller, the switch. It did wear out, pretty quickly. 1 out of like 8 or 10 of the switches, and then Abrams sent me a new replacement right away, and it was no big deal. The light bar is very bright. It's outside. I'll have to make another video on that for you guys. But oh, the beard's all crazy. Yeah, see, the shirts are all worn away, guys. Be careful. If you get these shirts made up and they're like the iron-on, I forget what you call them. If you know the name, put it there. I forget the name of it right now. I want to get the silkscreen ones. These peel off pretty quickly. Show us around the garage. Oh, my garage is a disaster, but all right. So I got my Shindao EB802, Red Max EBZ 8500. We have the Steel FS90R, the KM 110, and then we have an Edger unit right here, which is an old one. I don't even remember what that is. Then I have an old Echo trimmer here. I have some attachments, the what do you call it? The hedge trimming attachment, the 100 and something degree articulating one. I have the HT101 pole saw, which if you're going to get one of these, spend the money. The HT131 has more power. This thing does pretty good, but it lacks on power. It can definitely use more power. I got the Freedom Z over here, dirty. I'm about to get this ready, do a tune-up, because it's filthy, and I left it outside for about a month, and it snowed, and the leaves came down on it, and it's just a disaster. Let me get this bag off of here. I got to get a new battery. So as you know, it's the Kohler 7000 series 24 horsepower engine. The engine's been giving me problems. I had a couple things replaced under recall. The valve cover gaskets, this one and this one. This one started leaking, and it's doing it again. Brought it in several times. It was under warranty. They just put new gasket material around there, sent me on my way, and it started leaking again. And I blew a head gasket on here at, I think, 30 hours. It was something ridiculously low. I believe it was 30 hours I blew the head gasket. So, I mean, I'm unimpressed with that. But you have to remember, this is not a commercial mower, and I'm using this on, right? Well, when I got it, and I first started, I was only doing like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lawns with it. Then all of a sudden it shot up to about 60 lawns a week. So yeah, the starter's starting to go though. I don't know. If you guys know how to maintain a starter, please put it in the comments or let me know. What happens is you turn the key and sometimes you'll hear it spinning and spinning. The starter gets stuck, the sprocket gets stuck up on the flywheel and it won't go back down. That's getting kind of annoying. I think it's just out of warranty, so I'll have to deal with that. As you can see, it's getting beat up because I use it very heavily. But you know what? I drove a Turf Tiger 2 by Skag, and that's an amazing mower. That set the standard for me. I'm definitely going to get a Turf Tiger 2. With a bagger, you're looking at anywhere from 15 to 20,000 by the time you finance it. Between the different options, there's fuel injected, there's liquid cooled, fuel injected, and liquid cooled. They just came out with the 37 horsepower, I believe it is. So that's gonna be my next mower in a 60-inch. This is the 52-inch deck. This is actually a nice mower, guys. If you're not doing that many lawns, or you just don't have the cash to spend. I think these are like $5,500 new. If you're gonna spend the money, I would probably go up to the Patriot though. I think the Patriot's just a little bit more money, and you get a lot better features. You get bigger tires, a couple other things. These tires, I don't know, they're kind of small. When you go up and down a curb, you have to be careful. There's hardly any greasable points on this mower, so when it wears out, it kind of just wears out. It's not like you can just keep greasing them like the commercial mowers. It's got, the foot adjustment for the deck there. The parking brake is right here. You got the adjustment for the deck here, and you got the controls on the left side. Most of the commercial ones have it on the right. You have a cup holder that's useless, cell phone holder that's useless. This mower bounces around a lot. The hydros are good. The hydros held up pretty well, actually. I have about 600 hours on here now, and under 2 years. So the hydros are holding up pretty good. I mean, you could spin the tires and really beat on this thing all day long in it. And it does pretty good. I'm almost 300 pounds and I'm 6'4". And I mean, it's a little tight, but it actually is pretty spacious. The seat, however, you know, some of our properties on our hills, or they're, you know, 3, 4 acres, my back has been killing me at the end of the days, because of the lack of the suspension in the seat. It's pretty horrible. It's just a little spring at the bottom. The Turf Tiger 2 had an amazing seat. It felt like you're mowing in a Lazy Boy. The ROPS bar is stuck up. It's either it's on there or it's off. That I don't like because it makes it a hassle for mowing around trees and things like that. Do you have any questions on the mower? So I have a walk behind, a 48-inch. I'm also picking up a 36. The Gravely, all right, has air ride, nice. Yeah, you know what? I don't know. We're in Connecticut, and I've never seen anybody with a Gravely. I've seen them online, and they look like pretty nice machines, but in my area, I haven't seen any. It's mostly Skag and Exmark around here. Toro looks like they make a nice machine too. I guess, what is it? Exmark and Toro were together now. I'm not sure how that works. I guess somebody bought somebody, or they're made by the same people now. I was looking at the Toro. What is it? The Pro Stand? I forget what it's called. The Stander. It's pretty comfortable, right? Yeah, you know what? I haven't seen any right. I think I've seen like one guy in Craigslist trying to sell one. Haven't seen it. I seen one Walker mower in Bridgeport, Connecticut, in this tiny shop. They had a Walker. I think it was like 20,000. It was the one with the bagger that what's his name? Brian from Top Notch has. So I think it was around 20,000. So guys, I mean, if you're starting out, this is a good mower. I mean, it's decent. The thing I love about this mower is you can go on the scariest hills that there are. It could be wet. It could be a nasty slope. This thing, I feel so safe in it. Yeah, the Toros, I'm really looking into a Toro. I don't know. After I had Skag, and I used Skag for a while, I think I kind of want to stay with Skag just because I'm familiar with it. But I don't know. Toros looks like they make some nice equipment too. I think Toro has some that are very, very high end. I was thinking of V-Ride, but I don't know. I think I'm a little bit tall for a V-Ride to be bending over, hunched over for that long. I'm not sure if you guys ever used a V-Ride. Let me know if it's comfortable for a tall person. Yeah, you know what? The Red Max. I picked up this Red Max. I think it was like $475. I paid cash for it. Oh, that's just some magic salt and sand. It's a beast of a blower. I actually have two. The other one's in the shed for the EBZ. What the 85? What? 802. The 802. Right? Yeah, I don't even remember what I have. The EB802. So this blower blows like a sharp line, very precise. And then the EBZ 8500 blows just a ton of air. So what I do is I like to use the 8500s to just clear the leaves out. And then the Shindawa EB802s, those are good for pointing them at the ground, getting all the debris, the thatch, and leaves that are embedded in the grass. It blows it right out. So that's great. So here's my little propane heater too while we're here. If you guys are looking for a propane heater, this thing's like $79-$80 at Walmart. Thing's amazing. It throws off some good heat. I get this garage, which is probably, it's a small garage, but I can get it up to, you know, comfortable temperatures pretty quickly. Oh, I don't know if, I think you guys seen this. So on my KM130, I'm running that attachment on there. I don't know if you can see it. It's the tri-blade, whatever you call it, for the weeds. That does an excellent job. I recommend that to you guys. If you're ever doing some small brush clearing jobs, just kind of throw that attachment on and it gets it done. So do you guys have any more questions? Because I'm about to just shut her down. This is my first live video and I hope the quality's pretty good. Okay, how do I like the steel combis? The steel combis are excellent. I love the steel lineup. I know that, you know, the Echo is old, but it just doesn't compare to any of these. Some of these are old as well. The steel, the 4Mix is just a great platform. I absolutely love it. I've never had any issues with it. I keep them maintained I use them all the time. I think that's the thing too. If you use them all the time, they're going to last a long time. If you just leave them sitting out, being unused, the ethanol gets to the carbs and everything. But I use the heck out of these things, and they're great. The KM130R, would I say it's heavy? I guess it is heavy. You don't notice it because that's pretty much like the first trimmer I've ever really used on a long, after a long hard day. That's the first one I use. So everything else that I use is a little bit lighter. Um, I don't know. I'm a big guy too, so the weight doesn't bother me. What really bothers me is I hate the trimmers. I don't know if they're all like that, but these are too short. I'm not even that tall. I'm about 6'4", and I have to really hunch over. So after a day of trimming, I mean, my back is really strained. But yeah, 5 people. Wow, thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. This is my first live video. I've never done it before. So yeah, the KM130 is a little bit heavy, but the power is always there. I've never needed more power. Another thing is, I know a lot of people say, "Oh, do you run with the guard without?" I always said you have to run with the guard because it's safer, it's the proper way, and things like that. But I took all my guards off. Now I run without a guard, and that's it. So I found it might not be good for the trimmer, it might not be good for anything else, but from going to having a little path of trimmer line to having a larger area to trim a lot faster and a lot smoother, I take my trimmer guards off now. Might not be the proper thing to do, but I do it. While we're on the subject right here, some of you guys asked about this. As you can see, I'm a steel guy. So here is the MS311 saw, 20-inch bar. I put a lot of use on this. As you can see by the bar, it's got some decent wear on it. Would I recommend this? I don't know. For the extra money, I probably would have went with one of the Pro saws that are actually a little bit lighter. They're easier to tear apart and fix. This is a powerful saw. I don't remember the specs on it, but it's pretty powerful. It's just heavy. I mean, obnoxiously heavy at sometimes. It's really annoying. It does have like the anti-vibration shock in here. Same thing in the handle, but I don't know. I think I could have spent another $40 and got a Pro saw, and I just should have went that way. But when you're starting a business, that's how it goes. I was lucky. When I started, I had some money saved up, and I spent about 10 grand in one day. That was buying my saw, my trimmers, my pole trimmer, my mower, everything like that. But I stopped there. That was one of my mistakes, in my opinion. When I bought this mower, my budget was like $5,000, $5,500 for a mower. And I bought this new because I figured, hey, it's got a warranty, it's not going to break. I probably should have went and just spent the money on like a used mower, like a Tiger Cat or something like that. If I could do it again and go back, I probably would have got a used mower, something that wasn't too beat up, but just a little bit cheaper. But this has been a good mower. And that's about it for now. We have been getting snow. As I said, it's a bunch of small storms, 1 to 3 inches. For commercials, we're doing a lot of commercial now. You're going to see a lot of commercial in the videos when we film in the summertime as well. We're going to do a lot of small houses. We expanded our area. There's a town it's called Stratford, Connecticut. It's not the nicest town. It's not the worst, but it's not wealthy by any chance. We picked up about 17 residentials there. So we can get 17 done in probably 4 hours. And they're about $50 on average. So you can see how that adds up pretty good. So that was a good decision to do that. Just because we can be in and out their small lawns and do it that way. One mistake I made was I live in a town where some people are wealthy and they have massive houses and everything, but when you're mowing 3 or 4 acre properties, and you tell the people, oh, that's going to be 175 a week. Nobody's going to pay 175 a week. For some reason, everybody wants to pay about 75 at the most. 75 to 50 is like the magic number. So I'm thinking, why would I be stuck? Yeah, that that's the mowings. They just make money to keep the business going. We're working on installs. We're doing maintenance. One thing I did was I hired a couple employees to do weeding. Send the employee out to do weeding, and that helps too because when you're slow, your employee can be working out there doing weedings, monthly maintenance on flower beds and things like that. That's a good way to go. Um, but as I said, yeah, when you're cutting a property, say you're getting 75 bucks, but it takes you an hour and 45 minutes by the time you pull up to the time you leave, that's not too good. I can do, like 17 lawns in 4 hours that are $50 each in a town that's kind of, not as nice. I'm going to do that instead. And as I said, mowing is nice. It keeps the bills being paid just in between the larger jobs, the larger design jobs that you have, or whatever else you're doing. But yeah, mowing pays the bills. The way I look at it, I try to stay at for my employees are it's basically me, my wife, one or two other people. So my target is anywhere from 1,500 to about 2,500 a week in just mowing. And then that'll pay the bills. That'll, put money aside if something breaks, because everything always breaks all the time, randomly when you least expect it. So that's what we're doing, and we're going to work on different things. I want to try to get into hardscape, but that's something that I'm not really familiar with. So I do want to try to learn that first before I go tackle that. I mean, I could do it. I know enough, but I just not, secure enough to do that right now by myself. So we'll be doing that in the future. All right, guys, if you're on here live, I appreciate you stopping by and spending your 27 minutes with me. And if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments and I'll get back to you. Sorry it's been so long since I made a video. I've really been busy. I got to try to get back on for you because I appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. All right, guys, have a good one. Thanks.